The psychology of people who don't obsess over gaming while millions of people are glued to glowing screens, grinding for hours, leveling up characters, raging at random strangers online. There's a massive group of people who just don't care. They play occasionally, or not at all. And according to psychology and neuroscience, their brains might actually be wired very differently. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see gaming-obsessed people and yourself. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Not obsessing over gaming doesn't mean you're boring. It doesn't mean you're old-fashioned. And it definitely doesn't mean you're out of touch. But there is something fascinating happening in your brain that's completely different from the millions of people who treat gaming like a second life. Let's start with the obvious question. Why do so many people get so emotionally invested in games? Humans are goal-driven creatures. For most of our evolutionary history, progress was simple. Hunt better, build shelter, gain status, survive. Your brain evolved to love clear objectives, instant feedback, and visible progress. In modern games, they're basically perfectly engineered progress machines. Every level, every achievement, every XP bar is a small hit of dopamine, the motivation chemical. Your brain gets the message: effort equals reward. Fast, predictable, clean. But here's where it gets interesting. People who don't obsess over gaming often have brains that are less responsive to artificial achievement loops. Their reward systems don't light up as strongly from virtual progress. A digital badge doesn't feel like a real win. And there's research backing this up. Studies on motivation show that some people are far more driven by intrinsic rewards, things like learning, autonomy, creativity, and real-world impact, rather than extrinsic rewards like points, ranks, or skins. Translation? Your brain asks a different question. Not, what do I unlock next? But what does this actually change in my life? And for many non-gaming obsessed people, the answer is not much. But wait, it gets weirder. When someone is deeply into gaming, especially competitive or online games, their brain experiences constant micro-bursts of anticipation. Will I win this match? Will I rank up? Will I clutch this round? That uncertainty is powerful. Neuroscientists call it intermittent reinforcement, the same reward pattern used in slot machines. You don't get rewarded every time, but when you do, it hits hard. It's one of the most addictive learning systems the brain has. fMRI studies show that intense gaming activates the same reward circuits as gambling and other highly compelling behaviors. Your brain doesn't care what gives dopamine. It just knows it wants more. People who don't obsess over gaming, their dopamine systems simply aren't as triggered by simulated competition and virtual risk. And yes, genetics likely plays a role. Variations in dopamine receptor sensitivity can influence how rewarding someone finds repetitive, fast feedback activities like gaming. So if you've ever wondered why someone can play the same game for 8 hours straight while you get bored in 20 minutes, it's not a discipline issue. It's not a maturity issue. It might literally be biology. But there's another layer most people miss. Gaming offers something psychologists call vicarious agency, the feeling of power, control, and accomplishment without real-world consequences. You can be a hero, a strategist, a champion, without risking failure in real life. People who don't obsess over gaming often have a lower tolerance for simulated agency. They crave direct engagement, where effort has tangible consequences. They'd rather build something, learn something, improve something real. Their identity isn't tied to a character, a rank, or a username. And this shows up in self-concept. Hardcore gamers often say, "We won," or "I'm diamond rank." The achievement becomes part of who they are. Non-obsessive gamers tend to keep a stronger boundary between what they do and who they are. Their self-esteem is less dependent on performance in a virtual system designed by someone else. That stability matters. Now, before the comment section explodes, let's be clear. I'm not saying gaming is bad. I'm not saying gamers are weak. There are real benefits: problem-solving, teamwork, stress relief, even empathy. But the psychological difference is real. Here's something that surprises people. Gamers often score high in situational focus and persistence. They can stay locked into a challenge for hours. Non-gaming obsessed people, on the other hand, often score higher in openness to experience. They're more likely to seek emotional stimulation from music, art, ideas, conversations, nature, or exploration. Same human needs, different outlets. And for some people, Not caring about gaming is also a quiet form of resistance. Maybe they dislike being optimized by systems. Maybe they don't like environments built around endless competition. Maybe they don't enjoy investing energy where the rules can change overnight. Or maybe they just don't find pressing buttons for digital rewards meaningful. All of those are valid. And this explains why gamers and non-gamers often talk past each other. Gamers find meaning in mastery, progression, and narrative challenge. Non-obsessive gamers find meaning in authorship, shaping their own story, not playing inside someone else's. Psychologists describe this as parasocial achievement versus direct engagement. One group gains fulfillment by watching numbers go up. The other gains it by seeing real-world change. Neither is superior. They're just different strategies for navigating motivation, meaning, and time. But here's the part people rarely admit. Many people who don't obsess over gaming report feeling more present in their lives. They're not spending hours chasing outcomes that reset with the next update or sequel. They're investing in skills, relationships, and experiences that compound. There's something quietly powerful about that. So what does all this mean? If you don't obsess over gaming, you're not missing out on a core human experience. You're just wired differently. Your reward system, your sense of agency, your definition of progress, all calibrated in another direction. The next time someone says, "How can you not play games?" or "You're missing out," remember this. You're not broken. You're not boring. You're just playing a different game. And the stakes might be a little more real. If this resonated with you, you'll probably love understanding why some people crave real-world progress more than digital success, and why that mindset can quietly change the trajectory of your life.